Sis, that man ain't loving you. That man is gaslighting you. And I need you to understand the difference. See, here's the thing. When a person loves you, they love you with their words and actions. Both of those things will align. They will not disagree and conflict with each other. The problem is you with a person that loves you with his words and not his actions. Everything he say is contradicted by his behaviors, and you stay anyway. You know why? Because you have been gaslighted. This person has learned to manipulate you with words so much so that you question your own reality. And for people out there, I need you to understand something. It can happen to any of us. Any of us is subject to being gaslighted if we don't pay attention to actions. You understand me? Because let me tell you something about a gaslighter. They will lie straight to your face and had no shame about it. So much so, like the lie is what it's, you know when they say bold face lie, it's such a bold face lie because they boldly facing your face and lying to you. They boldly facing your face and lying to you with no shame, super confident with the lie too, right? Super duper confident with the lie to your face, so much so you be like, well, maybe I didn't see him having sex in our bed today. Maybe I'm tripping. Have you ever been with a liar that lies so good that you question whether or not you saw what you saw, even though you saw it with your own eyes? See, here's the thing about a gaslighter. They will lie and deny. They will lie, deny, and deflect every single time. How come it's always your fault with that gaslighter, right? It's always your fault. They will convince you that their behavior and their inconsistency is normal. And you the one with the problem. It ain't that they acting suspicious, it's that you can't trust. It ain't that they're actually being unfaithful, it's that you started gaining weight. It ain't that they got anger problems, it's you make them mad. And I know what people are thinking right now. People are like, why would you ever listen to somebody that's blatantly lying to you and gaslighting you? The problem is those people are so good at what they do, they will wear you down with those lies. If you choose to stay and listen, this is why you have to pay attention to words. Not words, but actions. And you got to make sure somebody loves you with their words, but also loves you with their actions. I said it before, love don't hurt, y'all. Love does not hurt. And the thing about it is some of you guys are loving people that only know how to hurt you. And they, again, trick you in believing that that's normal, that you accept it, right? And what do? You allow them to make you believe that what they're doing is actually part of loving you. That is part of the 1,000 free throws. That is normal, that you accept it. That matter of fact, you the one that need therapy. Matter of fact, you the one that got mommy and daddy issues. Matter of fact, you the one that got anger issues. This is what that person will do if you allow them to. And let me tell you another thing a gaslighter would do before I get to y'all questions. A gaslighter will seem perfect to everybody else. Won't they? Won't that person seem perfect to your family and your friends? So much so that when you are telling your friends what they did, they don't even believe. They're like, no, not Johnny. And let me tell you, I'm gonna go a little further. Let me tell you what else they do. What else they do is, hold on one second, you guys. What else they do is they try to get other people on their side, right? They try to get your mom and your dad on their side. They try to get your best friend on their side. They try to get mutual friends to side more with them than they do with you. And they try to leverage that loyalty to them against you. They reason because your mom likes them that you should put up with their behavior. They reason that the mutual friend that you had together feels like they're in the right. And it makes you doubly doubt your sanity. But the same lies that gaslighter will tell you is the same lies they will tell your friends. You understand me? So I want you to understand this. People will love bomb you and put you on a pedestal just to gaslight that thing on fire if you let them. I wish I can sit here and tell you that everybody that stepped to you got pure intentions. But it ain't. It's some people that ain't never been real a day in their life. All they know is fake. All they know is deception. All they know is counterfeit. All they know is lies. And they step to you with it. This is why I want you to be patient when you date. I don't want you to fall in love with people quick. Because ain't that the problem? Don't you give your heart to people before you truly know who they are? And here you are. By the time you figure out that this is fool's gold, they done got you in their trap. They done, but no. Matter of fact, by the time you figure out it's a wolf in sheep's clothing, they got their teeth in your ass, fam. In your ass, fam. Whole teeth, whole ass. And this is why I want you guys to be cautious, be patient. Because guess what? You can tell the difference between real and fake when you allow enough time. You allow time to show you the difference. So until enough time has passed, you have to keep your heart on the leash. No more falling in love in a month. No more letting him sweep you off your feet in a month and a half. No more allowing him to sprint his way into your life. You better tell him it's a marathon, fam, because y'all too good at lying. And I ain't saying you got to sit here and disbelieve people. I ain't saying you got to be up here, you lying to me. See, you nah, I ain't saying you got to do that. I'm just saying if you think that man is dope, cool. Just let time validate that. Because we all know once you get your heart involved, now it's hard to move on. Now it's hard to recognize signs because you're no longer thinking with your brain, you are thinking with your heart. Words and actions have to be aligned. And I said this earlier in the week, you do not have to date by yourself. You do not have to date by yourself. One more time. You do not have to date by yourself. You know what that means? That means even if you have trouble trusting your intuition, surround yourself with other wise, knowledgeable women in your life that you can trust. Bring those people that you are falling head over heels for, or head over heels over head. What is it? Is it head over heels? Is it heels over head? I don't know. Head over heel. Jack and Jill went up a hill to fetch a pail of water. Whatever it is. Look, let me tell you what happens. Everybody on here gonna think that you will never fall for a person that gaslights until that person come disguised as everything you ever hoped and prayed for. That person is inside the box of the thing you prayed for. You know why? They've learned to disguise themselves as the guy of your dreams. And sometimes we so eager because we just prayed to God. We like, God, send me the right person, that the next person that ring your doorbell, you like, that must be him. But guess what? The devil hear those prayers too. The devil see you on Tinder swiping left and right too. He see you on them little websites. He see you on them little websites. You know little websites y'all be on? Yeah, he be seeing you on them websites. Yeah. He know what you be searching. He know what's in your search history. He don't care if you delete your cookies. He see that you want somebody eating your cookies. He be seeing. And I'll tell you one thing, men and women, but we're talking about men right now, from the beginning of time, has been used as tools to distract you. Used as tools to distract you. And that's why I said, you have to practice patience. I know you want your marriage and your white picket fence and your dog named Toto right now. You like, I want it now. Not now, but right now. So much so, you start getting up in age. You know, you had patience when you were 20. Now you're 34. You like, oh no, Ace, you be talking this patience stuff. I don't know about that, Ace. You know what I'm saying? With the patience, you know what I'm saying? The clock ticking, Ace. You know what I'm saying? I was feeling you until you said patience. But I want you guys to understand that is your best defense. Can you have a 90-day rule for your heart? You guys have a 90-day rule for sex. And you know you don't make it to 90 days. Trust me. I ain't made it to 90 days in so long. Y'all be like 90 days. You know, that's the goal. Then it turned into like 9 days. And you like, girl, you know, it just happened. But you have a 90-day rule for sex. But how much more important is access to your heart? I get it. You don't want to give him access to the box. Great. He has to earn access to the box. Great. But you just willy-nilly just give him free passes to your heart? As if your heart ain't more valuable? Have a 6 months rule for your heart, yo. I ain't saying you can't start feeling for a person. I ain't saying you can't strongly, intensely like them. But before you give this man unconditional, I'm never giving up on you love, let 6 months pass. Let's see if he can be consistent for 6 months. Let's see if he can be consistent for 6 months. Is that cool? Is that cool to everybody? That's cool? All right. The first person in here, Heidi, do you got a question for me? You got a question? Do this. You ready? All right. Heidi, let's talk. Heidi, what's up? What's your question?
I finally just got the strength to leave after years and years of whatever. And I'm wondering if you have any advice on how to co-parent with someone like that.
Someone like what?
Someone very toxic, very emotionally abusive, very unavailable, and very sneaky.
Well, here's the thing. You got to understand something. Some people forfeit the access to be able to directly talk to us. And before you can be a co-parent, you got to protect your peace. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna mute you for a second. You got to protect your peace. And as much as you want to be cordial, nice, and have an open line of communication, you want to give him your number so he can text you whenever he want to find out about the children and what's going on. We both know that most times that person is texting you to control you. It is probably about the kids. It probably start there. But then it starts about y'all and how y'all might need to get together, or it might start with some abusive stuff. So what you have to do is you have to set boundaries. And everybody that's watching right now, I need you to understand that. Boundaries will be your greatest protection. And I know some of you guys have relationships with people that you have to maintain because you have children. So now you just can't walk clean cut and shut the door completely on that man because you share a child and you guys got to figure out how to co-parent. But guess what? Until you learn how to talk to me correctly, then we can co-parent through a mediator. You got to reach out to my mom. If there's a level 10 emergency, a level 8 or 9 emergency, I will call you. If there's an emergency on your side, you call me. But if it ain't an emergency, we can talk on Tuesdays if need be. You want to figure out how this kid is doing in school? Call the school. You want to see how they doing in daycare? Call the daycare. You need to pick up the kid? All right. He's going to be over my father's house. You can pick him up there at the scheduled time and you can drop him back off there afterwards. What I'm saying is, I know that sounds like it's too much, but putting up with disrespect is too much as well. You the mother of his child, and you over here getting emotional based off of the treatment he done put in your place. So what I'm saying is, people in your life can only do what you allow them to do. Everybody can get these hands, fam. Everybody can get these hands. No, I'm just playing. But no, everybody can get these hands, fam. So if you start disrespecting me, then access to be able to text me and call me is put on hold until you learn how to talk to me correctly. All right.
So I have another question.
Mhm.
Thank you. I have really been trying to implement those suggestions you just gave me. It's only been a week. Camille, 1 second, please. It's only been a week, and I've just been trying to say.
A week since what?
Since I ended the engagement.
Oh.
But my point is that, you know, I'm saying if it's not about our daughter, we don't need to speak. I need time, this, that, and the other. If you try to talk to me about anything personal, I will not engage. And I put that boundary up for the first time, and it felt good. But then today he texted me and said he wanted to see our daughter after school. And so I told her she was going to see him. We scheduled a time, we scheduled a place. And she's at the age where now she realizes he's not here and she doesn't know where he is. And she got her hopes up, and he hasn't even called back yet. He just ghosted after that, after he got a response.
That sounds like dudes, don't it? That's some dude thing. That's a dude thing to do, right? That's a dude thing to do. Listen, you're not responsible for that man. You know what I mean? He has to grow and learn to maintain his relationship with his child despite you guys not being together. That's something he gonna have to do. It hurt your feelings a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
This is
Because
why
it hurt my daughter. She's very upset.
So this is what we do. There's no sporadic you pick up. This is that you pick up on Sunday, Friday through Sunday. Do you guys have an agreement?
Like a very basic one as of now, because it's been such a short amount of time.
Okay, so now what you do is you just have a you can't miss it, you can't misunderstand it, I can't misunderstand it. It's very black and white on this page what our agreement is. All right. And this is when you pick this person up. This is when you drop this person off. And you may ask me if you can pick up the person, but I'm telling you, it's so fresh that child of yours is going to be used as a pawn. I'm telling you. Men do that. Now, hopefully your man ain't that type of person. But the fact of the matter is, okay, then. So the fact of the matter is, this was his one opportunity to get a sporadic visit. He ghosted. Now we go on what the paperwork is going to say. So I would suggest you do that. And it's going to listen. Look at me. You're not the first person that has went through this. And I know that don't make you feel better right now. But what that gives you should give you comfort in knowing is that the feeling you feel right now, there's ways to handle it. There's boundaries you can set. There's guidelines. There's courts. There's things you can rectify and protect yourself. And it's been so fresh that it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. And the difficult part, and I want everybody to understand this. The difficult part, I'm gonna mute you. The difficult part about this whole thing is you can't just close the door. You feel like you gotta talk to him. And that's what's gonna make it difficult. So what I want you to do is, my suggestion is get a understanding. If you have to have mediators, matter of fact, I would suggest you have mediators. That way, there can be no confusion. Hold on 1 second. Hey, gone. My bad. My dog. I got Toby. Therefore, won't be no confusion. But you got this. All right. Keep your head up. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, girl. All right. Who next? Who got a question for your boy? Raise your hand. Do this. Y'all don't be shy. Y'all, because remember, everybody got to have a question. Otherwise, we need to open this room. All right. So raise your hand. Who ready? All right. Miss Happier, talk to me. You got to unmute yourself.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Okay, so the backdrop is I'm 37, I have 2 kids. I was back and forth with my youngest son's father for 7 years. It was
Hold on 1 second. Let me get my dog. I don't want him to interrupt our time. All right, I'm back. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was back and forth with my son's father for 7 years. It was a toxic relationship. It was mentally, verbally, and then when it became physical, I decided to leave. So I spent about a year and a half basically learning myself all over again because I basically lived for this man. If he was happy, I was happy. If he was sad, I was trying to make him happy. So I did my self-love thing, whatever. So now I'm trying to date again. And at 37, with 2 kids, it's like my options are very limited. And then I went on several dates in the past 2 months. They weren't successful because when I explained to the men, sexually, like I'm not trying to have, a friend with benefits or casual sex. They basically just ghost me. They say, "Oh, we're fine. I'm fine with that." And then when it comes time to go out, they would not show up, or we will go out and they would try to see if they could break me. Then when it doesn't work, they ghost me. So at 37, should I just embrace being single, or because the more dates I go on, the more kind of, I'm like, maybe this isn't for me.
You can do that. You can do that.
I mean, I don't want to.
Okay, then. So why are you even considering it? I understand being discouraged, but nothing in life worth having is easily gotten. And finding someone to agree to spend the rest of their life with you is a difficult thing for anybody to do. And what happens is we have these bad experiences and it makes it feel like it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. I feel like you're on the right track. I said this to somebody earlier. Is the very moment you feel like giving up is how you know you on the right track. That means you actively been trying. See, had you had not been going out on dates at all, then you wouldn't have this feeling. But you're out there trying. And here's the thing. I would say try harder. And what I mean by that is go out on more dates. Try new places. Travel to new areas. Try a different church. Try a different gym. Find a different network, a different area and pocket of people to hang out with. Give a date to a person you never thought you would ever, be in the same room with. Try different things.
I have done that.
Continue to. Because here's the thing. You can, so it sounds like you have a giving up problem then. Continue to.
No, I'm patient, but it's just.
Are you patient? Are you patient?
I mean, I spent 7 years with a dude thinking he's going to, level up. So
that's not patience.
It's not.
That's not patience. That's not patience. That I don't know. I wouldn't call that patience. I would call that unwise. Yeah. That was unwise. That wasn't patience. Let's not lump what we're talking about with that. You gave 7 years. You're 37 now. You gave your prime years to a man with nothing to show for it. Because you probably couldn't walk. You guys have children together, right? Or no?
This is before. A son.
Okay. In that 7 years, and we don't have to talk about it, but in that 7 years, there was no ring, right?
No, he proposed to me, but I called it off.
Right, because the behaviors didn't match.
Well, that and he had another baby that I found out about.
And that's the behaviors. And here's the thing. And those behaviors probably showed itself regularly in a relationship. I imagine, right? Okay. And so that's not patience. That's neglect for self-care. That's unwise. It's a lot of other words, but it's not patience. Sometimes you keep thinking you giving another person a chance. And when you're giving a toxic person a chance, that's taking chances away from you to be happy. chances away from you, because I understand something. It's going to be more difficult. Ladies and gentlemen, the older we get, the more children we have, the more difficult it's going to be. But it's not impossible. But imagine how much more difficult it will be if you manifest failure by thinking that it never happened. You look pretty nice. I'm pretty sure somebody thinks so as well. You probably got a very good personality. Now, when you take sex off the table, that, I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of
They
guys
want to jump ship.
but here's the thing. You're dating men. And I want all the ladies to understand that when you're dating men view things differently. So when you may be like, well, dang, man, I take sex off the table, all these guys just run and they ain't trying to see me deeper, blah blah blah. But for men, sex is that's a big motivating factor for men. So you have to understand that although for yourself you're like, okay, for my personal worth and for my ethics and my morals, I'm not having sex until I'm in a very committed relationship. And that's great for you. But for other people, if they're not trying to live that same abstinent lifestyle, it is something that can be repelling. It doesn't make them bad people. It just makes your journey a little bit harder. But here's the part I was trying to say is, it's not impossible. And I think it will happen. But we have to acknowledge that it's not going to be a snap of the finger. Because when we think it's going to be a snap of the finger, then when it doesn't happen like this, we start to give up. How long have you been dating actively again?
Actively, about 3 months.
All right, then. See what I mean? See what I mean?
But
What you
in
thought
those
you
3 months, I just been getting the bottom of the barrel for some reason. People told me, "Oh, you date too young. Date up." I date up, and it's like, "Oh my God!"
It's been 3 months. It's been 3 months. Give yourself a little bit more time. It's been 3 months. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. When you start to think it's gonna be like this, and it don't happen like this, now you talking about giving up. You acting like you've been actively trying to date for 7 years. You was with a dude for 7 years. You should have been. But now since you haven't, all you have to do now is say, I'm going to date more. I'm going to go to different places. I'm going to try to do things, and I'm not going to give up. There is a guy right now, and I don't know him because most guys I know are actively having sex. But there's probably a guy out there. I just imagine the world is filled with a lot of people. There's probably a guy right now that's not actively having sex, that's saying, you know what, I want to wait until I'm in a serious committed relationship to have sex as well. I don't know this man, but I'm pretty sure he exists. So you just got to find that guy. Okay. And for all the ladies that's looking at me and side eye me and making it seem like, I mean, well, why?
But it's not. But my whole thing is like, guys, when they meet me, I'm keeping personal. When they meet me, it's like they don't want to start in the mailroom. They want to come in the door and be a CEO. It's like, if your main motivating factor is sex, then work towards it. Like, it's like, I have a good personality. I'm a funny person. I have all these qualities, but they rather get rid of all of this just for that one thing. I'm just kind of confused. Is it that bad in the world where people got to just, everyone's hard up? Like, I'm not getting it.
I don't think I mean, I'm just a guy, so it just doesn't shock me that guys will be like, I'm cool. I mean, whether you feel like that's right, wrong, or indifferent, it's just some guys it's just in order to date you, that person would have to immediately change their lifestyle before even knowing you're worth it. In your head, you're like, I'm worth it. So I'm worth waiting 6 months, 8 months, a year to have sex with. That guy doesn't know that. So in his head, he would have to change his lifestyle. I think the shrewdest thing to do is to find someone that's already practicing an abstinent lifestyle like you are. Because and I give that advice to everybody. That may be finding a church dude. Now, I say that with hesitation because some of them church dudes be just as freaky as everybody else. But let me put it like this. If you were with a man and he said to you, let's say you were married, let's say you were deeply married, children, committed, and he said to you, hey, listen, I want to remain married and I love you. There's no other person I'd rather be with. But honestly, I'm not sexually attracted to you. And I don't want to have sex anymore. But everything else I love. So I want to keep this marriage. Would you be happy in a marriage like that?
No.
Okay. Sex is important, right?
No, and I agree it is, but it's not something that, I'm not just going to give it out, just because a guy takes me.
But what I'm saying is you don't have to. You don't have to. I'm saying though, for men, it is motivate. It's not mutually exclusive, but it makes the journey harder. So when you're saying to me, I tell them right away, sex is not a thing that's going to be happening. I can understand why some men is like, that's not what I want to do. And women will say that's shallow. And as a man, I don't necessarily think it is, because
I don't think it's shallow.
Yeah, because I think it's important. It's an important thing, and it's one thing for me or a person not to know when it's going to happen. Is another thing for a person to know that it's absolutely not happening for of the foreseeable future. It's just a big motivating factor, and that means that you as a woman would probably have to compensate in other ways. You would have to compensate in other ways to be able to keep that man's attention. And I know you like, man, that don't even sound right, but it's 2021. These are new dudes out here. These are new dudes. Like, these dudes out here be thinking they the prize. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Damn near they be the prize, for real, for real. It's so few good men out here. Like, so few of them. And you will have a man, but have a good man that's also qualified, that's also, respectful, that's also ready to be married or ready to date, that also maybe doesn't have a host of kids and baby mama drama, especially when you get older in age, that's also single and not married. They start to realize that, shoot, there's less of me than there are of you. And if sex is something you don't want to do, I respect your choice, but person girl A, B, and C are willing to date me and have sex at the same time. And so I'm not here to tell you it's right, but I'm just here it just doesn't shock me that you would have difficulty with that.
Okay,
and
but it's my thing is, like, when I meet someone, I want to start a foundation as a friendship. So if I meet a guy, we're friends. Yeah. We're going to see if we could be, first of all, we're associates. I really don't know you. And then we're going to talk more and be friends. So I don't go out and sleep with all my friends. So if you become a friend and then, grow from there, then it could be something. But it's how much effort you're going to put into it. If you put enough work into it, it could be 2 months, 3 months. If you don't, it could be a year if I decide to wait around that long. But I don't want a foundation based on sex, because that gets boring really quick.
Here's the thing. I completely understand and agree with you.
But it's not no guys out there for it.
I didn't say no guys. I said there probably is a guy or two like that. I just have never met that guy. Okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? So my point is, the more standards you have, the more difficult dating becomes. And you have to be willing to endure that, because there are going to be times when you think about loosening your morals to attract more men. But see, you're not trying to attract a man. You're trying to attract your man. And in the process of finding your man, your disqualifiers and your standards will help filter out people that are not right for you. All right. And so there is a man that will meet and hear you say that and be like, oh, okay, yeah, great. I'm not trying to have sex either. I want to focus on our chemistry and getting to know each other and other intimate moments. There is a man like that. For real. There is. And so you just have to find that person. I was just saying it from the sense of saying that, understandably, it will make it more difficult. It will. Because I have never met a man that said, you know what? relationships ain't working for me. I'm gonna just take sex off the table until I get serious about a woman. I have never. Have you ever met a man like that? Have
Who,
you?
me? No,
Yeah.
if I did, I'd be with him.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? It's just ladies, put it in the comment section. Have y'all ever met a man that
And if
was
he was
like,
straight,
yeah, like that? He was like, you know what? You know what? Before he even meet a woman, he like, you know what? I'm about to stop having sex, man, because I would just really want to focus on finding her. So even if I like a woman, we're gonna have to hold that. Like ladies, have y'all be really messed up if you've been dating a guy for 4 months and he didn't try anything sexual with you? You damn near think something wrong with him. Like if he never made, if you were okay, let me ask you this, happier M3. If you were dating a man for 6 months and he never made a sexual advance towards you, like never tried, never attempted it, how would you feel?
well, that depends. If he tells me that he does not want to have sex, then okay. But if he's not trying anything, we're going to have a discussion. What's going on? And he's going to have to tell me this is what the deal is.
Why would you want to have a discussion about it?
Because it's going to be weird. Like you said, guys.
Why would it be weird?
Because like you said, there's not a lot of guys out there doing that. So if a guy is doing that, you're going to be like, wait, something in the milk ain't clean. And you're going to talk about, is it me? And then he's going to basically open up and say, look, I'm not having sex for 6 months, but which will be okay if I was on the same page, which,
Man, let me tell you this. Here's the funny part about this. I don't know many women like that. Like I like a lot of the women on the app would tell me, "Hey Ace, yeah, I'm saving myself for marriage." I personally, like in my dating life, never met somebody like that. Or maybe because I've just never been drawn to that energy.
I never said marriage. I never said waiting for marriage though.
So why do you bring it up?
Because, well, I bring it up because, like, if I'm having a conversation with a guy, as all guys do, they're going to talk about sex. They're going to bring it up to see where your head is at. So when they bring it up, I let them know this is where my head is at. Either you with it or you not. And
then they be like, I'm not with it.
No. That's the pissed off part. They tell me, oh, I'm not like that. I'm trying to get to all that other blase. Then when it comes down to it's time to date, to go out on our date, there goes, or we go out on a date and they realize they can't break that down. They can't basically have sex with me. And they're like, all right, I ain't got time for this. And then they go.
But so let me say this. That's why my advice would be to find a person that's already practicing that lifestyle. But see,
is there like a web page for it? Like, where do you find these people? Like, where do you
go to church? You got to find you a disciple.
Yeah, I tried the church, man. Church is a building full of men with.
Hey, stop it! Why? So why are you being so negative?
No, I'm being honest.
Why are you being so negative?
Church.
Why are you being so negative? Listen. Let me tell you this.
Though.
Hold on. And this is the point where I'm about to get unfollowed by people. I get unfollowed when I start being real. Y'all want me to, but I'm gonna be real. The type of men you want and you are attracted to are men that are probably having sex.
Yeah.
Like you could find somebody that is not having sex, but it would be a result of a cluster of qualities that would probably be undesirable towards you. Like it's rare to find a dude that is that alpha masculine man, that apex male in a community, and he's celibate. Now you can find some guys that are more beta, more passive, a little bit less in demand, and they're not having sex because they don't have options. They're trying to have sex, but they just don't have the options. But the type of men you would want are probably men that are already having sex. And so what it is I think a lot of times it's, although I mean it is obviously you're doing it for you, you're doing it for your worth, and you're doing it because it's precious to you and you want it to be earned, and that's fair. For men though, a lot of men just in the beginning of a relationship don't see your worth the same way you do. And I don't want that to be a gut check on you because they don't know you yet. Just like you don't know them enough to give them sex, they don't know you enough to give up having sex. So it's like that's why those two butt heads. Again, my advice is not for you to lower your moral standard there. My advice is for you to cone in and find people that are living that exact lifestyle. Therefore, it's not a lot of pressure. This person completely understands where you're coming from because they're living the same thing as well. Then they don't view it as a test. They just view it as I understand where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying? Now, what I will say this is, there is a person for everybody. I'm convinced. Have you ever walked down the street and seen somebody with somebody else and you be like, how did they get booed up before me? Because there is a person for everybody. And so I believe you will find that person as long as you don't give up and then just have reasonable expectations. You should expect that some men will not want to not have sex. You should expect that. So don't let that get to you. Don't let that hurt your feelings and don't let that discourage you. You should expect. Now, let me ask you this. When the last time you asked a man out on a date?
I don't know.
So basically, you choose from the people that approach you. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. But if I
No, don't tell me. Don't tell me what have you typically been doing the last 3 months? You've been choosing from men that chose you.
Correct.
Okay. Now, did you have a conversation with these men first, like before they jumped in your inbox? Or okay, so these are friends that you already have.
Well, one of them was a friend, and then some of them was like I really didn't know them, but we would talk over a while. Then it would say, "Hey, let's."
So you started the conversations, or they started the conversations?
They started the conversations.
Okay, so before they've ever talked to you, they started the conversation.
Right.
Why do you think they started the conversation with you?
To get my attention.
But why were they motivated to talk to you in the first place?
I don't know.
Probably based off of how you look, right?
Well,
if y'all hadn't had an interaction, then they're approaching you based off of how you look, correct?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So typically that's how you attract men.
Okay.
Right? Is that typically
right.
if you're not
look at them, right?
Yeah, if you're not approaching men and you're not sparking conversations with them first, then you're using your attraction factor, your physical attraction factor to attract men, correct?
Right.
That's a fair assessment?
Yeah.
And because of that, you may in your net get men that are obviously motivated by how you look in a sexual. So my suggestion would be maybe start approaching more men with your personality and letting your personality be the reason that they ask you out.
Okay.
Yeah, listen, hold on, but look at your face. Look at your face. Let me tell you, look at your face.
I don't know how to approach men. I really don't. And then I'm a klutz, and then I'm a little geeky. So if I say something, then they reject me, then that's really gonna hurt my little heart.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, here's what I'm saying. I'm saying you can't have it both ways. If you're only using how you look to attract men, and then now getting upset that they're sexually attracted to you and want to do that,
no, I'm not upset about it.
All right, in your feelings about it.
Not necessarily. It's like I know men are very sexual people. I understand that. My whole thing is like, please, like, I don't want guys talking to me just to have sex with me. If that's your motivation, cool. Chances are that's my motivation too.
But if all they have to base them speaking to you is off of how you look physically, you see what I'm saying?
But I have conversations with them once we start to talk, and they know my personality.
The first motivation in them speaking to you was how you looked.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is switch the bait. You might get different results. But shit, I'm throwing things. I'm just throwing things out there. Shit, it might work for you, might not. Just saying.
I'll
But
try it.
look. Every time I talk to a woman about their dissatisfaction with the options they have, and I suggest, well, why don't you go start approaching certain men that you like? Oh, it's a no-go here. It's like, oh, heck no. But I honestly feel like you'll get better results. You'll be able to first of all, you approach a man, they ain't gonna say no to you unless they're married. You know what I'm saying? Like, men are not defensive creatures. Like, we offensively minded. If a woman comes speak to me, I wouldn't know what the fuck to do. Yeah, take my number. I guess call me. Like, I wouldn't know what to do because I'm not so used to it. But I feel like this, and I stand behind this. And ladies, I want you guys to understand this part. I feel like you'd get a higher caliber man if you approach more. Because the other way around is normally survival of the unfittest. You normally pick the best out of the least options you get. You know what I'm saying? But if you start approaching more, now you're going up. You know, you're talking to guys that you didn't think you can get anyway. And at some point you bag one. And I understand y'all saying it's not a woman's role. Yada. But I really don't. I'm not saying you got to ask the man out on the date. I ain't saying you got to pick up the first check. I'm just saying if you go out somewhere, you see somebody you like, he got a really great energy. Seems like from what you can pick up, he meets some of your standards. You saying something and getting his attention is better than him just walking out and never saying nothing to you. And I bet if you get his attention, he gonna ask for your number and ask you out in a week or two. That's just how guys are. But I don't know, just wait until they jump in your inbox based off of the picture you posted on Instagram. I guess that's been working for you.
Wow, that's okay.
No, I'm just saying, but do you feel me though?
No, I see where I see where you're coming from, but do you see where I'm coming from? If you're working, if you want something, like say if you want a Lamborghini, you're going to work towards that Lamborghini. So if you want to have sex with me, whatever, do your work towards it. Like, come on, it's a package deal that comes with more than just ass. I mean, sex. That's my whole thing. No one wants. They just want to sex. That's it. Call you when I want to have sex again, and I am too old for that. I'm almost 40.
Yeah, I feel you. You know what? I don't like having sex neither like that, man. There's more important things to do.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, I'm just saying. I agree with you. There's more important things to do than be having sex out here. You're right. Those guys don't know what they're missing. The thing about it is, and I just want every lady on here to understand that you feel like you're a Lamborghini. And you might be. You might be. I don't know that yet. And so that's where the disconnect is. It's like someone has to, and do I feel like more men should be more patient when it comes to sex? Yeah. I definitely feel like I'm just telling you that I just know that makes it more difficult. I mean, but not impossible. So keep your head up and find somebody that's already living that lifestyle. Quit trying to tame. See, what you're trying to do is tame a guy. You want to find a guy, you know.
I don't want to do the who's off the meat rack where I got to tame. That's what I don't want. I want me a square. I don't want someone to have to tame. I don't want that.
Why don't you ask a person if they're actively having sex?
Because that's not something I want to just
no. Why y'all having talk? Okay, you're willing to talk about sex on your terms. And when it's about what you want to talk about sex about, right? So you're like, I'm not having sex, blah, 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 blah. But my point is, when sex comes up, you said sex naturally comes up in the conversations, right?
Right.
So when it comes up, then you ask that person, are they sexually active? Got it. And you know what I'm saying? And is celibacy or abstinence something they're willing to do? You know what I'm saying? Now, most people will. Let me tell you, I know I've been on this call for a long time, but this is an interesting conversation. I don't have too many of these. Let me tell you what guys do though. they will agree, like you said, with hopes of eventually trying to wear you down. That's why it's important to find somebody that already is trying to do that with their life. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna just leave you with that. I wish I had better advice for you. And
It's
I
cool.
wish
I'm a sensitive case.
Nah, I mean, because there's a lot of women that feel the way you do, and a lot of women are disappointed that men, a handful of men, or a large majority of men, are not down to do that. You know what I'm
If
saying?
they
Not
just take
down.
the time, it just put in the effort. That's my whole thing. Take the time and put in the effort. But I
But
guess
okay, if that's the case, then there,
yeah.
I think it's the conversation. Like, as a man, I know that sex will require effort. But I think when someone puts a blanket statement saying, "Hey, I'm not having sex," it's just completely off the table for a long little while.
It's not a period of time. It's if that man puts in the effort and does what he's supposed and need what put in the work, then of course. But it's not like, oh, I'm not having sex till I'm married. It's not like it's a year. If I meet a dude who puts in the effort and work towards it, then we can make something work. But I don't know. I guess guys are attracted to women who have sex with them before they know their last names. I don't know when it started to happen, but my whole thing is just work towards it. I don't understand. You go out on a date with a guy, he wants to have sex with
But
you.
that's normally what men do.
When did this happen? I've been out the game.
That's why a guy will buy you flowers, and a guy take you out on dates, and then take you to the opera. I don't fucking like no opera, but I know you like the opera. Have these conversations, be
Yes.
consistent. Right. That's typically what men do. I don't feel like men typically, and I said men, qualified, responsible men, self-aware men expect to just be handed sex. I'm saying when the conversation is had that you're not having sex and you take it off the table, and I know you don't feel like you're taking it off the table, but most times, I mean, there's times that I've been courting somebody and it's been a month or it's been 2 months or shit, it got to 3 months. But when someone says this is something I'm not doing and I know I'm not living that same lifestyle, respectfully, I'd walk away because that's not the type of lifestyle I want to live for the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Like, let me ask you one more question because this is interesting. If you were dating a man and you told him, you're not interested in having sex until you're ready, and that may be, you give him a realistic ballpark time, you say that may be 6 months, it may be 8 months, maybe a year. And he says, that's cool, but I'm going to stay sexually active elsewhere. Would you be okay with that?
It depends on where we're at in our relationship. If she's trying to make something with me or if we're just like friends, then no, I'm not gonna no. Then you do you and we're just gonna be friends. But if you're trying to be in a relationship with me, then yeah, I'm having a problem with that. That means you don't have any willpower. Like, you got to get your rocks off somewhere and then come back to me for the nice sensual stuff. So yes, that it depends on the dynamics of our relationship or whatever.
And so that's what I'm saying. I feel like this conversation is, if you're going to date me, you have to make a lifestyle choice, a lifestyle change. Part of dating me means you have to make a lifestyle change. It's not like you're saying he has to make a personality tweak. He has to make a lifestyle change to date you, because you're saying, okay, from the moment you're interested in me, you're no longer having sex, period, until I decide I want to have sex. And what I'm saying is, I don't think that's what it is, right? And so it's not even like you're not having sex with me, but go ahead, do your thing. We can still talk. It's like, no, if you're interested in me, you don't have sex with nobody until I'm ready to have sex with you. And for a lot of men, they just don't want to just willingly sign up for that. And I'm just speaking, and I'm not telling you, listen, ladies, before y'all unfollow me, I'm not telling you how I personally feel. I'm just saying, y'all follow me to get a male's perspective as well. I just don't know a lot of men that's just going to be willingly trying to sign up for that. Now, if you compensate, I mean, you have to be dope as fuck. If you are dope as hell, like, and you probably are, and you show that man that you are dope as hell, and you are able to keep his attention. Sex is the easiest way a woman can keep a man's attention. It's the easiest way for a woman to motivate a man, especially before he knows you. Now, if you take that out of the equation, then you just have to compensate and be extra dope in other areas. And if you are,
they don't stick around that long.
You said what? What the shit? At that point,
I connect with them. We talk. I connect with them. We laugh. We joke. Everything is cool, calm, and collective. We chill. As soon as the sex thing come out, or as soon as they can break me down and try to make me, renege on me not having sex, they don't care about my personality. They don't care how dope I am. Nothing. I'm done. I don't get it. I don't understand. At least take a chick out on 4 dates before you try to have, like, I don't understand what this all like quick stir have sex thing that people got going on. I don't know when this happened. That was my whole thing. My son's father, we waited 3 months before we had sex.
3 months is reasonable.
And exactly, but guys don't even can't even get that far because they're so, I want to have sex. I want to have sex.
The part of seduction, and I know you probably don't want to hear this. The part of seduction is I know we shouldn't be trying to seduce people, but guys respond well to it. I don't know why. But the art of seduction is thinking it's always this close. That's the art of seduction. Is when the motherfucker always think is this close. You know what I'm saying? Like when he get close, you're like, oh shit, a little bit farther. You gotta be faster than that. That's the art of seduction. Dudes respond well to that shit. You be like, all right, you getting closer. Motherfucker, but when you say it's at the top of the motherfucking mountain, then they be like, oh no. So I'm just saying from my perspective, let me end this because I want to get a couple more people before the hour is up. Well, damn, we've been talking for damn near. I want to end it like this. I understand where you're coming from completely, and I respect your stance. And I feel like if it was up to me, more people would take sex off the table when they're serious. When you're serious about finding a spouse, I would not allow myself to be influenced by sexual connection, because a lot of times that sexual chemistry and connection can be confused for real chemistry and connection. How many people on here been with an ain't shit dude and stayed because dick was good? And I know I done been with some hood rats before. I don't know why, but they just got that wop. And so the wop was there and I done did that. And so how many headaches would I have avoided if I had, not really, really went sex first? But we all have to be realistic about it. It's going to make it more difficult if you're saying that, because the world has changed. If you were saying this in the 1950s, it would be normal and commonplace. And people
I gotta go that far back.
Shit. I don't know. My parents was fast. I don't know about y'all parents. My parents was getting it. But all right, well, you enjoy the rest of your night. I hope it work out for you.
Okay, I'm gonna be patient.
Yeah, be patient. Be patient. Listen, all I'm saying is you have to have, in your situation, I would suggest you date as many people as you can, yo. You mingle with as many people as you can. You got to cast a wide net to find that person that will be cool with your morals. Because even if you were worth it, there's a woman down the street that's worth it also, that's having sex. I don't make the rules, but that's the truth.
You got a point.
Like, people think that people that have sex earlier on in relationships are not worth it also. They be as worth it as the people not having sex. So it's like when a guy or a woman, because here's the thing, women are the same. I told you before, I have not met a woman that said, oh, I'm waiting till marriage in a long time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because never mind. I'm just in a different level in life. But you know what I'm saying? But go ahead, enjoy the rest of your night. I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
Peace. Well, that was different. I don't listen. I don't listen. First of all, I don't care if y'all get mad at me. You ain't getting mad at me. You getting mad at the truth. If you're mad at what I just said, it ain't me that you're mad at. You're mad at the truth. All right, you're mad at the truth. You gonna look a man in his face, right? The type of man you already know is getting some. Because if he wouldn't getting some, you wouldn't be on a date with him. When you decide, listen, I know this ain't what you're thinking in your head, right? But when you decide to go on a date with a man, you're typically going out on a date with a man that you probably, if you thought about it, would figure that other women want. Like, I mean, let's be real about that. And so you're talking to a man that has options. And so when you have options, you have the ability to choose. So then when you put all these factors in, you put in, okay, I'm not talking about our previous caller, but I'm gonna talk about somebody in a similar situation. But if you're 40, you got 3 kids, and you're not having sex to marriage, you can't be shocked that it's going to be a little harder. And so what I'm saying is you got to look at it from that perspective. So like where you say, okay, I'm worth it, I'm the Lamborghini, I understand you got to say that for your self-confidence. But in the beginning, a man doesn't necessarily know that. And also the type of man you're picking, now it's like, okay, well, these are the factors here. Do I really want to invest here? Now that make a motherfucker really think hard before he even has information on you or person B. And I just know that hit y'all wrong, don't it? But just like men exercise their options, I feel like women should exercise their options as well. Y'all need to have options on the table too. Because I'll tell you one thing about men and their options. They don't have they don't got no shame moving on. You don't want to have sex? Cool. I'm moving on. Y'all meet a dude without no job. You like, I guess I'll give him a chance. Shit. Like, I mean, I just don't understand. I don't understand. Look, tell a guy you ain't having sex, his ass is gone. So think about that the next time you decide to put up with his bullshit. All right. He'd do the same for me. No, he wouldn't. Because the very moment you stop having sex with his ass is the very moment he gonna stop talking to you. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. All right, who else got a question? Ebony, you got a question? Ebony, what's up? Talk to me.
Hey Ace. So
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Okay, so I'm gonna just go through mine real quick. I guess this was my first encounter with the so-called narcissist. I had heard about that being thrown around for years, but I was in a 12-year relationship with my kid's dad. So when I was hearing that, I wasn't picking up on that because that wasn't my case. But now that I've experienced one, I know what it is. So how you were saying all day about dating in groups, I even heard it the other day, dating groups. This was my first time that I did that, and I took my time with this one because I was like, it would be different. So when I first met this guy, I met him not thinking about any type of relationship. I'm a dancer, so
Yeah.
I met him in a club. I was just looking for somebody new just to have sex with, honestly, just a new casual sexual partner. I wasn't looking for any type of relationship. I told him that, he told me that, we were cool with that. That's all it was. I think when he started realizing that I wasn't moving as fast as other girls, like I didn't want his time and attention all day. I wasn't bugging him. I would call him at like 2 o'clock in the morning, like, hey, can I come over? And he was cool with that. And I was cool with that. And then I would leave. Like, okay, I'll talk to him whenever. So eventually he was like, I want more of your time. I then explained to him that I don't know if that's going to work, but okay. I was out one day with my female friends. It was a group of us, about 4 of us, and I asked him to pull up. So they're asking him all these questions. This is my group that I've already told about him. I just told them basics about him, not nothing in depth, because I didn't know anything in depth. I didn't care to. I know him. I know his name. I know where he lived. I know he had children. He know I got children. It ain't that fucking deep. So, whatever he presented to them, all ended up coming out being lies. Just being honest. Like within the first year, I had picked him apart so differently than what he was. Okay. Like everything that he pretty much presented himself as was a lie. He presented himself as having 2 children. It ended up being 3. Even when that third child popped up, I said, "Then, why didn't you explain the third child? I have 3 children. Why wouldn't you say you had 3 as well?" "Oh, because he's one." Why would I care about a 1-year-old? I just met you. So that doesn't that wouldn't have bothered me. But then I knew like that this guy was not who he presented himself to be. Eventually I get DMs from females, and right, they're like, um, you know, what they weren't really trying to say that they had sex with him, but that's all I was interested in. Like, why are you DMing me telling me that this man is a narcissist? I need to figure out if I'm narcissistic bait. They sent me a YouTube link for me to go take a test to figure out if I'm narcissistic bait because I may be the next victim. And at first I was like, well, what is this girl talking about? But I didn't never disregard what she was saying, but I was like, okay, she had been through this with this man for 4 years prior to me. So when all of that stuff came out, we went through this big change. Now he's like, okay, whatever we went through in the first, say, 8 months of our relationship, I want everything to be serious now. After that point, I kind of like fell back from dancing a little bit, trying to fit the mold because he was feeding all this stuff to my friends. Like, oh, I could
Oh,
do,
dancing.
yes, stripping.
Oh, okay. Hey, hey, hey. I was okay. I was like, why would you give up dancing?
Right? Why
I
would
mean,
you do that?
okay.
No, not
All right.
like not ballet,
Cool.
but So, so I kind of fell back from that because that's not my only source of income. Of course, I have a business and many other things going on. That is so secondary. But one thing that we spoke on early in our relationship, or just us, being casual, was that I didn't necessarily have to dance. I've been in relationships where um I can stop dancing because this guy got so serious with me that he wanted to, take on financial responsibility with me. Not saying that he had to pay my bills, but if I needed something, I could fall back on him. And I explained that to this man as well.
So hold on. Before we go further, because
Yeah.
we got to digest what you've been talking about.
Yes.
Is this your boyfriend?
At this point, he was. That's what he was saying he wanted to be. To me,
No. Okay. Yes or no? Was he your official boyfriend?
yes.
I thought you was just trying to have a sneaky link. What
I
happened?
was. That's what he wanted to
Okay,
change.
rule number 1. You can't quit turning your sneaky links into boyfriends.
I didn't want to. He said that's what he wanted. He wanted something
You
more
did
serious.
want to. How can you not want to when that's what you did?
I mean, I just was like, well, let's give it a shot. We were spending a lot of time together,
So you
but it was
wanted to do
nothing
it.
official. Yeah, I was open to it. I said, let's try it.
So
Let's do it.
But you wanted to be his girlfriend. It's okay to say yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess to some extent, I was cool with how we were. But when you're saying you want more, I'm like, are you sure? Is that what you want? He's like,
But
yeah, I
you,
want. He
but
wanted me
you,
to be all to him. He didn't want me to date other people. He didn't want me to see anybody else, talk to anybody else. That started making him upset.
but you also wanted to be with him.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. All right. So y'all were boyfriend and girlfriend when all the narcissistic inboxes came and people was hitting
No.
it up.
See, that was
So
prior to. So after that,
okay.
after
So
that stuff happened, that's when he said, okay, whatever happened with that situation, I'm trying to leave that in the past. I'm gonna stop that. I just
one more
want to be
question.
me.
One more question, because I'm trying to get clarity
Right.
for everybody that's watching. Now, you found out about the extra child before you got in a relationship or after?
After.
Okay.
Mhm.
So people were inboxing you before
Mhm.
because you brought your sneaky link outside the house. So then everybody knew your sneaky link. And so then they was like, oh, you posting pictures of this guy?
No,
We about to ruin.
no,
Okay. So
we
how did these girls find you?
I think they went because this girl had been in his life for 4 years, so she already knows. Like, I guess when a new chick comes on and he's responding back, or he comes on my Instagram and he's commenting to me, she must have knew like that it was me. Because I said, "How do you know it was me?" Unless he told her, like, "Yeah, that's who I'm dating."
Mhm.
I,
Okay,
I
so
don't know.
fast forward to now. You guys are still together.
No,
What
that's
happened?
so much, so much stuff, so much.
Right, right. So
Like,
what's the straw that broke the camel's back?
it's not even just one thing. It's many things. So, um, all this stuff started in April of 2018.
Oh,
January,
so you was with him for a while.
yeah, 3 years almost. So the first year, I was like, whatever. That was us getting to know each other, blah blah, whatever. We started getting supposedly official December 2018, January 2019, around that time. Um, that's when I want to say February is when I found out about the baby. I wasn't mad about it. I just was like, why the fuck, why didn't you tell me? Like,
Yeah.
he's like, because I didn't want to tell you that I had a 1-year-old because you would have thought I was still sleeping with my baby mother, blah blah. No, I wouldn't have thought that if that's not the person that you presented to me. No, I would not have thought that. But
So what happened?
okay,
So what's the reason y'all broke up?
cheating. Cheating.
Okay.
He still has an ex-girlfriend prior to me and the girl that was in my DM that's still around. She's not
Okay.
going anywhere.
Okay. Now. You had the signs prior to being his girlfriend, correct?
If you want to say so.
Yeah. Because if somebody's hitting you up in your inbox
Well,
about
we were single. He could still do whatever he wanted to do with her. I wouldn't think that. Like, no one.
you okay, let me put it like this. I understand why you wouldn't think that, because you didn't want to think that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I mean, she
But
was hurt. You know what I'm saying? When I came into the picture, they might have still been dealing. I was the new thing.
okay,
You know.
foundations are important though. What I'm
Right.
saying is foundations are
Yes.
important. You said in the first year or so you found out about multiple different lies, correct?
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
And you still chose to continue the relationship with this man, right?
Mm-hmm. I
And
did.
so what I'm saying is, for everybody watching, is that we have to start believing the things we see, and
Exactly.
understand that the information we get, especially in the beginning, is the tip of the iceberg. And if it appears to be massive from what you can see above the ocean
Mm-hmm.
line, then you got to imagine what's the stuff you can't see.
Mm-hmm.
If this person is lying to you about just having a child, you have to understand that there's probably deeper things that this person is hiding.
Yeah.
If people, while you are not even in a relationship with this man, is inboxing you, warning you, telling you to do narcissistic checklist on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, then there's a sign. These are signs.
Yeah.
Ebony, I'm pretty sure, you wanted to see the best in him, and I understand that, and I feel that completely. But I also understand that, there was some signs there. Even the way it started from a sneaky link situation. And those things rarely graduate to healthy, functional relationships.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to keep your sneaky link. Sometimes the person to give you good dick can't be good in a relationship. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You got to just keep that person there. And so that's probably what I learned. Now, how long ago was this breakup?
Well, I blocked him a little bit over a week.
A week ago. So this is fresh.
Right. It's fresh.
This is
Very fresh.
fresh. And so the straw was you found out that he was cheating.
It's like I already knew. So pretty much around my last birthday, which was last October, I kind of had like let things go. I was just like, he knows at certain times of the year that I take seriously, and my birthday is one of them. So when he didn't show up to my birthday dinner, I was very upset about that. So that was, to me, that was the end of it. And I feel like we just kind of carried it on. Like, we we would separate for 2 or 3 weeks, come back together, get back together, all of that. Even Valentine, New Year's was the same way. We were supposed to have plans to go out of town together. He broke those plans off. I went my way. He went his way. That
It
was
is, so it sound like the breakup was a good thing then.
yeah. I don't think it was a bad thing, but right now I'm at the point where I guess people are saying the no contact thing, and I haven't had any. So I have a salon, and then I have my nightlife stuff, stripper stuff or whatever. So he only wanted to acknowledge me being a dancer because I guess that made him feel more superior to me. He doesn't want to acknowledge that I have a legitimate business that I've been running since 2008. He never says that. Like, even like, it was so much stuff, like, to where I haven't met his mom. She lives in our city. Why haven't I met her? His kids met my kids only because my daughter had like a party, and they're all around the same age. We could have been combined our children, but for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe it's something that you and your baby mother have an agreement on. I have no idea. I don't try to overstep that boundary. I just kind of been the girlfriend in the background. And it was this ex-girlfriend that popped up in 2019, and then recently she started resurfacing again. And once I seen that she was at his house one day, I just was like, "Oh shit!" Like,
Yeah, well, I
I
think
don't have anything else to do.
I, I think here's my synopsis of it. Sounds like you made a good decision. Um, I would suggest you probably do the no contact because you've probably been done before. And you've probably been done before. This probably ain't the first time you've been done with this situation. And so now it's like, are you going to stay gone? Are you going to have the strength to enforce those boundaries and not go back is the question.
Yeah,
And so
I think one thing too that I think with him. So me and my kids' dad had a really
but let me stop you. Let me stop you real quick. Let me stop you real quick. Um, you no longer with this person, right?
no.
All right, then. So at this point, what you got to do is just stop harping and stop rethinking and replaying this relationship in your head. It really ain't gonna do you no good. You done told me the damn near the whole 4-year relationship and shit, and it's been whacked since the first 6 months. And so my point is, I think it's just about time for you to move forward. Move forward, worry about yourself. And listen, if you didn't spend the last 4 years with this guy, you probably would have met somebody better by now. So just don't make the mistake by giving him more energy and more life and more time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, I got you.
All right, Ebony, you have a good night.
Okay, you too.
All right, peace. All right, I got one more. Got one more. Who got a question? Let me see you raise your hand. Oh shit. All right. I'm trying to get these real quick. What's up?
What's up? Okay.
What's up? What's your question?
You said how's what?
I said, what's your question?
Oh, my question. So I am I'm not in anything. I'm newly single and
Oh, where you go? Okay.
oh, sorry. So I'm newly single after like a 12-year relationship. And I actually tried to ask you a question last week because I actually had them on live too, but I didn't get called.
Mhm.
But we were trying to figure out, me and my child's father, if we wanted to get back together, but I wasn't sure if it was something that we should do or not. So
Okay. Back together for what?
I don't know. Like we have a really good relationship with each other. He's like my best friend. We talk about each other dates and everything since we separated. So we've been really, really close.
Mhm.
And I just thought it would be, I've tried dating for like a couple years and with other people it's just not going nowhere. So I always think like maybe I should go back. But then something inside of me still likes the fact of dating other people. But then I'll be confused because I'll date somebody else and then I don't want to date nobody else. But when I'm with him, sometimes I still feel like, well, maybe there might be something else out there. So I still
You
wanted it.
probably just need some closure. You can't. You probably are you and your BD y'all doing sexual activity? You thinking about too long. You thinking about why you thinking about too long. You thinking about a little too long. See, that's your problem. First of all, you and your baby daddy will always have a connection. If you continue to be stroking that connection, you know what I'm saying, laying up with that connection, talking about things that ain't your child with that connection, then you are keeping that alive. And listen, there was probably a reason y'all broke up. You know, it's probably a good decision.
Of myself. Well, I mean, there was a reason I was cheating like back in like.
Okay then. Okay. All right then. Okay then. He was cheating on you when he had you.
Time ago.
Oh, it was a long time ago. That changes things. My bad. You right. Wow. I didn't even think about that. My point is there's a reason y'all broke up. And I'm not saying it can't work. You know, people do, you know, learn lessons. People change, you change. You can get the family back and yada yada yada. I just want you to understand though that sometimes the reason you can't move towards your future is because you're too busy flirting with your past. Maybe he's the reason none of those other people worked out because you're half in, half out. You're trying to date, but you still let somebody hold your heart. And he still got a captive.
When I'm with these other people, he's still around. So when I do date, we stop talking, we respect each other, and I move on. But then once the relationship doesn't work out, then I just
you're not moved on. It's not closure. Closing the door and locking it, that's closure. What you doing is like you putting a "I'll be back," like "be right back" sign. You like "be right back," like you put the sign on the door, "be right back." You got a "be right back" sign. So then you leave, you come back. You know what I'm saying? And listen, you know how many times I've been talking to women, get these little boyfriends, and I know it ain't gonna work out. I know they'll be back because they ain't over me. You know what I'm saying? You know how many times I've been that person? So I guess my advice to you is this. It can be genuine. It could work. But there's probably a reason it hasn't worked thus far. And sometimes you get far away from that reason and you guys start feeling nostalgic and stuff. Every one of us want to be kids again, right? We're like, man, I want to be a kid again. This adult shit is for the birds. Until you remember you can't make no damn decisions. You got to go to bed at 9 p.m. and you got homework and shit. You're like, you know what? Being a kid ain't that great. And so I think what happens is the farther you get out of these relationships, the more fondly you start thinking about them. And again, I'm not saying it's not a great decision. Maybe y'all getting back together is cool. But I just think that there's a reason y'all not together. And I think you should respect that reason. But ultimately it's your life. And I'm pretty sure you're going to make the decision you want to make. I just would be careful. You know what I mean? Once somebody cheat on you, I mean, at least you now know that they can. And so, you know, that's something I would just always think that you would be maybe a little cautious about.
Okay. Yeah. I was like a little bit like confused, like, because I'll get with him and I thought like I was this free spirit. So I always be like, well, let's get back together and be open. So then I'll do it that way. But then I'm still like, no. So then I'll break it off and then I'll get with somebody else and go like 6 months ahead in with this person. But then when it doesn't work out, but when I'm with them, I want to be monogamous. But for some reason, when I get with him, even though like I say, he's my best friend, we talk every day. Like, it's just, I'm like, dang, I don't know if I just see you more as a friend. Is that possible? Or is it possible that is it possible to be together with somebody for so long, since we were together from when I was 18 until I was 29, I'm 30. So to be together.
Hold on, so y'all ain't been broken up that long?
Well, it was about on and off. From 2000 and
how long have y'all been broken up?
We stayed together from 2009. He cheated in 2014. I left and moved to another state in 2014. And then we tried to make it back work. And then that's when I was like, let's be open. And then on and off, I've been like, no, I don't want to be open. I want to see somebody else. And then next,
Open, like what you mean open?
like an open relationship.
Oh, the freaky shit. Okay, because when you were saying open, I was like, what do you mean open?
Yeah,
Um,
relationship. When I'm with him, I always want to be in an open relationship with him. But when I'm with other people, I want to be monogamous and not be in it. So I don't know if that was just because am I not really over them, or is it that I'm just holding on to the fact that we've been together for so long, because it's been 12, almost 12
yeah,
years.
it's probably that.
Okay,
It's
so
probably that.
it's possible to fall out of it's possible to be with somebody so is it normal for people to be together for so long that love isn't like the main factor anymore? So like you didn't just hold on to that?
I just think you got a closure problem. You never closed the door to the relationship. You guys been flirting, opening and closing it, opening and cracking it, opening and crack. That's what you're used to doing. He's probably comfortable for you. It's probably a comfortable space. Plus, you guys are a child together. I feel like it's probably illusion of y'all supposed to be together because of that. I don't know if it's legitimate or not. If it was, you guys would be together. I think that in order for you to move forward and find somebody that's right for you, you probably got to put that relationship in the appropriate bin. It's not in the appropriate bin. It's an inappropriate relationship with a child's father that's going to confuse you when you're trying to date other people. Yeah, when you get with those other people, you cut off your baby daddy, but y'all still communicate. It ain't cold turkey. You know what I'm saying?
Friends, so I'll just tell them
Best friend, and you wonder why you can't find no new man. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. I'm all for having best friends and shit. But your best friend is your baby daddy that you're probably still having sex with, and then you up there wondering why you can't move on. I mean, the writing's on the wall on this one. You know, it just so this is why you're getting the results you're getting. Of course, it's hard for you to feel like you can't move forward and you keep going back to him because y'all keep doing this.
right.
Yeah. All right. So, listen, if you must try it, hell, you're already trying it as is. And listen, here's the thing. I think it's a horrible idea. However, maybe for yourself, you need to figure out whether or not it's going to work or not. That way, if it does, cool. If it doesn't, at least you can cross that off your list and finally move forward. You know.
Yeah.
But I personally, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't. I just feel like you guys have a great relationship, good, but it got to be dialed down back. It got to be dialed down. Now, he wants to be with you, right?
Yes, he never wanted to break up. That's why when I was trying to get on last week, we were actually in another state and we were on vacation.
So y'all taking vacations together?
I take vacations with a lot of people.
But you were taking vacation, so y'all vacation together too.
Yes.
So yeah, it's gonna be hard for other relationships to work. Because really, do you really give any other relationship a fair chance? Just to be honest, you really don't, right? It's hard to. And no other man, another man would have to compete with all the history and connection and child and all that different stuff you have and continue to have with this man. And no other man in the first few months is going to be able to compete with the just the sheer volume you guys have been messing with each other. So yeah, I can understand why you would get in these other relationships and it don't work out because shoot, this man, you haven't really broke up with him. You guys have broken up physically and not together, but mentally you still there. So maybe that means y'all belong together. I don't know. Maybe that's some romantic shit. I don't know. Maybe this is the type of love they're gonna like make a movie about and it works out in the end. I don't know. It just seems not the greatest decision. So maybe you should give yourself a fair chance, by actually putting that relationship. But I don't think you can put it in the like. I don't think you guys could have a regular co-parenting relationship.
Mhm.
And so that's why I feel like it's going to be difficult for you to find another person. Don't you think?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I did try to make some changes because when I was still dating, we were still living together. So I made the transition and I moved out 6 months ago and I finally got my own place because I kept
Hold
hearing.
on, hold on. You were dating somebody when you was living with your baby daddy?
I was, but at the time we weren't doing anything.
Oh,
It,
Pearl.
it
Is
wasn't.
it Pearl? Perlay?
It's Pearl. We wasn't
Pearl.
there at that time. We were not doing anything. Nothing romantic, anything. We were just living together financially for our child. But when I was able to get out, I finally got my own place like I'm in now. I'm by myself. I've been this way for almost 6 months now. So it's just, I mean, we are still tight, I guess. But I mean, you're right. Like I shouldn't be doing anything with them if I'm trying to fully move on. But since we're so, I know. I don't know. It's like, okay, when you're two single people and you're like, okay, just do it. But when we're with somebody, we respect each other and who they're with, I guess. But I guess that don't work. It's not gonna work.
You got to find some closure with that situation. So listen, you just lukewarm. Either you gonna be with that man or not be with that man. You need to make that decision. Because what you're doing right now is really keeping you in a space where it's gonna be, you're not gonna be able to draw closer to him because you're still trying to look elsewhere, and you're not going to be able to draw closer to another person because you're living with your baby daddy or was. So it's like you gotta make a decision here, because what you're doing is not a recipe currently to have a successful dating life. All right.
Okay.
But if you like him, man. Go on back to him. Go on back to him. I hope it work out. If it's been 6 years since he cheated on you, right?
Yep.
All right, then. Well, maybe he changed. I mean, he was 24 at the time. He's 30 now. He could be completely different.
Right.
But again, there's a reason you ain't with him right now. If it was really popping, you would already be with him. There's a reason you're not with him. There's a reason you were living with this man, kid in home, and you didn't decide to pull you didn't decide to pull the trigger on the relationship. There's a reason. Something is missing.
Right. And
All right, then.
yes.
All right. So that should tell you. If you can be living with, how long was y'all living together?
Since we were 18. Well, okay. Like it's 18 to 2014. So from 2009 to 2014, we broke up for about 2 years and then got back on and off from there. So from when I was 24 to 29, on and off for
so how many of those years was y'all living together?
When we got back, we immediately lived back together again.
And you just moved out 6 months ago?
Yes.
Hold on, Pearl. So all this time when you was dating these other guys, you was living with your baby daddy?
Yes.
Pearl, what is you doing?
The guys that I told them that.
Pearl.
No.
Pearl. Hold on. Let me do this. Pearl. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? You think you can establish other relationships with that foundation? And you've been living with this guy. If you've been seeing this man every single day and y'all ain't got back together yet, it's because y'all ain't meant to be together, man. It is because of that. Like, you feel me? Listen, do yourself a favor. Take some time apart for real. You know what I'm saying? because you're just comfortable with each other, probably.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's probably a comfort level, but that comfort level is preventing you from finding other people that are more right for you. Now, I can be completely wrong. I don't know this man. He can be really dope, but the same is true for him. He got to ask himself, if this was meant to be, we was living with each other for the last 5 years and we never got really back together, or we was on and off for a reason. I have to start trusting that this is not really meant for us to be.
Right.
And although you were broken up, no relationship, no serious man, and or even you, was going to entertain a relationship with you living with your baby daddy.
Right.
You know? So did you really give them a fair chance? You didn't give those relationships a fair chance.
I mean, I was newly dating, so I didn't really know. So once they were, like I said, once they was telling me like you can't be doing that, I was like, okay, because like I said, I've been dating from 18 to 29, so I didn't know the dating rules, I guess. So that's why I started taking. But now I
You
guess
know,
we're too close and we're too comfortable. So like you're saying, I guess I have to either accept and give him another try if that's what it is I want, or cut him.
you've been giving that man another try for years. I mean, for years. Y'all live together. That was you're seeing that person every day. Every day you're in that house together, there's an opportunity for you guys to reconcile, make it right, and be together with the motivation of you all living together with the child you guys share. And if that wasn't enough, to rekindle, then it ain't right. Something missing. And either y'all gonna be delusional and act like is something that is not missing, or you gonna face the reality and say, we broke up in 2014, we've been living together ever since with our child, and nothing resparked it.
Yeah.
Maybe this means that we really ain't, it's something missing from our relationship that we ain't gonna get. He the same man you left 6 months ago. You moved out. If it was real, you wouldn't have moved out. I'm telling you, you gotta just look back on this and really think about it. But I hope you make a great decision. Either way, I'll support you. All right. Just let me know how it go.
Thanks.
All right. Peace. Oh man. You know, Pearl, that was new. I don't think I've ever had a call like that, Pearl. I'll be honest with you. So look, this is what I'm about to do, you guys. I'm about to go to my I Love Me community, and I want you guys to be a part of it. If you guys have watched this long, this is what I'm gonna do going forward, because a lot of people want to get on here and ask questions. So I want to make sure I have the opportunity. But when I put it out to everybody, there's so many people that try, then I get long-winded. I do these like all the time. So this is what we're gonna do. If you guys want to be part of my coaching community, this is what I do on a daily basis, coach people. Cool. You can download my app. It's called I Love Me University in your app store. Or you can join my Patreon. All right. I'm new to Patreon, you guys. So make me feel special. Listen, if I don't have at least 2 people subscribe after I'd have been on here for an hour and a half, my feelings gonna get hurt. I'm gonna really sit there and I'm be like, they don't fuck with me for real. So listen, this is what I want everybody to do. I'm about to do a private Zoom call with my I Love Me community and my Patreon community. So right now, everybody, and you know what? I'll thicken the plot. I'm going to give $100 away. Okay, Cash App. I ain't did this since the pandemic started because I've been struggling. But now, I got my stimmy, so I'm good. So look, this is what I'm going to do. Everybody go join my Patreon. All right. There's levels. You can get a $5 level, $10 level. I think it's like $20. And then the VIP Platinum Magnum experience. I should have called it the Magnum experience, but I felt like that's too sexual. Chelsea, what do you think about the Magnum VIP experience? Is that too sexual? I shouldn't do that. The gold pack experience. That's too much. It's too much. So right. You know, I was thinking about it. I was like, the magnum experience, but nah, I just called it platinum. I did it platinum. So look, everybody that's watching right now, you guys got 10 minutes. I'm going to do a live Zoom call, and it's only going to be a few of us because I doubt many people do it. So I need everybody to go to my Patreon. Go to patreon.com. You can Google it, Patreon, Google it. Or if you already got the app, search Ace Metaphor and join at least the $10. I'll do the $5 today too. If you doubt the $5 one. Also, if you want a more immersive experience, download my app, I Love Me University. It's in your app store. So I want everybody to do that right now. Okay. So let me put the link right here. Okay. So join my Patreon community. All you got to do is put in Ace Metaphor. In 10 minutes, I'm going to go live, and I want you guys to be a part of it. And I'm going to give $100 to one person just because, you know, I hate having to bribe you guys to support me, but shit, it works. So somebody going to get $100. Shit, damn. Y'all should just do it because y'all love me. And I gave y'all all this time today, but you know, a little extra motivation never hurt nobody. So just go to my Patreon, Ace Metaphor, or go to your app stores, your iTunes or your Google Play, and download I Love Me University. I Love Me University is my app, and get it. Download it. You got 10 minutes, and I'm gonna put the private Zoom call. I'm gonna go drink some water and shit, you know, change my shirt. We're gonna turn up. We're gonna turn up on Zoom today. All right. I've been talking too much. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna shake our asses a little bit. No, I'm just playing. We ain't gonna shake our asses. But we're gonna vibe, listen to some music, have some open discussion, have some fun. All right. Cool. Everybody, one last time. Go to Patreon. 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 Patron. Hold on. Shit. Fuck, it's hard to spell. Patreon.com. Search Ace Metaphor. Join it right now, or I Love Me Community. I'm gonna do a Zoom call with the people that's joined in 10 minutes. Okay. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Peace.